I'm feeling prompted to create a message, and I'm trying to avoid all of the blockages that would have stood in the way of me creating this recording, which I originally wanted to be a video, but I'm currently laying in bed and, all the thoughts that came up of maybe I'll do the message later, but I just opened my phone, went to my recordings, and now I'm recording this message. I've removed all of the obstacles of me getting this message out, but I don't know who's going to hear this, and all I know is that it's going to reach whoever it needs to reach. And I personally have reached a point of frustration with myself because I'm very in tune with my guides, and I'm very in tune with my spirituality. I'm very in tune with my path and who and what I want to be and where I'm going, what my mission is, etc. I'm also very in tune with the fact that we are creators of our reality. And the reason why I say all of this is because, like I said, I am at a point of frustration where there are so many things that I know I could be doing. A lot of things that I feel the urge to do. However, just like how I mentioned, sometimes obstacles arise and I give in to them and I don't do it, and then weeks go by and I'm just like, oh, I should have done that thing. Well, now I've decided to kind of just do it regardless of the obstacles. By one, removing the obstacles altogether, or two, doing it anyway with all of the obstacles in place. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be uniform, but it will be unique because it is a creative expression of my soul's mission. My soul's mission is to share my experiences through creative endeavors and allow it to reach those who are experiencing what I once experienced. So this video or this audio is a great example of that, because I think at some point we all reach a point of frustration and we know we have this potential within us. And so it's up to us to figure out how do we manifest it into our 3D reality. And for me, the way that I'm supposed to do that is through my own creativity. It's through creation. It's through creating businesses. It's through creating life through plants. It's through creating video, creating and writing. It's through my expression of my experiences that I am fulfilling my soul's mission. And as a result of that, it helps so many other people who are experiencing things that they may not have the tools or the guidance to overcome. I know that was a mouthful, but essentially this audio is a manifestation of me doing the exact thing that I have been avoiding for a very long time. And it's not going to be perfect, like I said. I'm not really sure what I do after this. I know I'm going to post it. I don't know who or where it's going to go after that, but this is kind of like externalizing that potential, and now it has created something. And so moving forward, what I plan on doing for myself is obviously journaling a lot more. I've been journaling a lot lately, almost every day, 2-3 times a day lately. And when I feel prompted to do something, no matter how crazy it sounds, and by a prompting, I mean through my meditation, through my journaling, receiving messages, receiving guidance, receiving actions for me to partake in, for me to do, no matter how crazy it may sound, I must do it. And it's going to be a challenge, but because I've been avoiding that voice for so long, I think that now it's a good time for me to ease back into following that inner voice, because when I did in the past, it never steered me wrong. Honestly, like it'd be like, oh, go move to this city, buy this apartment or rent this apartment, go to a place you've never been to before, and it'll all work out. And for me, that was just kind of like crazy. But at the time, this was, my first time doing this. I was probably about 17 years old, going to college in a whole nother state where I didn't have any family, didn't know anybody. And, the school was really expensive. And I was like, everyone around me is like, how are you doing this? You can't afford this. Like, you don't know anybody. Everybody around me was telling me all these things. And I was just so steadfast in that prompting that I received to go to school in another state and to go somewhere new that I have never been before. And I feel as though I'm rambling because I don't know how I got to this part, but I think all of it kind of comes back to externalizing that potential that's within. Because when you do that, everything comes together as it should. I was listening to one of my favorite people here on YouTube earlier today, and she's honestly my inspiration. She inspired me to do this kind of video because she does these a lot, and she talked about in her video today how we need to start weaving, and the creator will provide the yarn as we go. And that's exactly how I've been living my life up until now. And she also mentioned that a lot of people think of it as a delusion. And that is literally what it feels like, being me, or being the person who's doing that, who's weaving without knowing where or when the yarn is coming, but just knowing that it's coming. It looks like delusion to a lot of people. I've seen this example play out so many times in my life where I was so steadfast in something that I believed in, that I was given a prompting for, that I was guided towards, that was, my path, and I knew it. And everyone around me was like, you're delusional, you're delusional. And recently people have literally been saying you're delusional, and not in like a pop culture type of way. Like, are you actually okay? Like, do you actually think that you're capable of doing this? And my answer is yes, because I've proven to myself and to no one else, because I don't really care what everyone else has to say, but it's more so for me that I've proven that when I listen and I do what I am told to do, and I follow my calling, I follow my heart, I follow my passion, I follow the path that has been laid out for me. When I do that, everything falls into place. Everything, always, without a hitch, everything falls into place. I meet the people that I need to meet. I have the place that I need to stay. I have the transportation that I need. I have the funds that I need. I have the guidance that I need. I have the support that I need. I always have what I need. And going back to the reason why I made this video, lately I've been feeling as though I haven't been doing that because of, I don't really know, actually. Maybe it's the fear of what others might say, or maybe it's the fear of failure, or maybe it's the fear of success. I don't know, but I know that in this particular moment, I am not pleased with my current situation. I'm frustrated, in fact. Frustrated with my current condition is what I wrote in my journal. And I was prompted to talk about it. So this has helped me a lot. And I hope whoever is listening also finds some guidance in the words that I'm saying, or finds some inspiration, because now I'm inspired. I've been sleeping a lot, but I know that sleeping is just helping me reconnect rest is important, because sometimes when we are in this state or in this point, we tend to do a lot of things that disconnect us from that voice. So we meditate less, we journal less, we do less yoga, we do less exercise, we start eating unhealthy, we start going out more, doing the things that we maybe aren't supposed to be doing. But it's doing is getting us further and further away from that voice, because first it started off with us denying it or ignoring it. And then it's like, okay, now we're going to completely suppress it. And then weeks go by and you're like, wait, I haven't gotten any messages lately. Yet you've been seeing angel numbers and you've been thinking thoughts of previous situations, previous people even. Those are the messages. Those are the guides trying to connect with you, your ancestors, your guides, trying to tell you to get back to where you need to be. And the moments of frustration can manifest in many different ways, whether it be anger or whether it be a behavior that you thought you had let go from all of the healing that you had done, and you find yourself looking at yourself like, why am I acting this way again? Yeah. I am probably only speaking to myself at this point, but it's time to externalize the potential, not suppress it, not be afraid of it, and understand that when you receive something from your ancestors and your guides, and you will know, because you will just know, trust me. And sometimes it will be very outrageous. Like, you may not have ever had an idea like this, or you may not ever have thought something like this, and you probably feel as though you don't have the credentials to do it, but that doesn't matter, because when you start weaving, the yarn will be provided. When you start doing all of the things necessary, all of the things that you need will be provided. And to everyone else looking in, they won't understand this, so do it anyway. Do it afraid. Do it unprepared. Do it inexperienced. Do it even though you feel as though you may not know what's going to happen next. That's okay. Because the alternative is just being in this state of either frustration, complacency, or sameness. And if we're not creating, we are not evolving. And things that do not evolve just disappear. And that is not what was meant for us. We are meant to ever be creating. If you look at history, if you look at nature, it's always creating. History has gotten us to the point where we are now, where I am recording this on my iPhone, and I'm going to upload it to the internet, and you're going to stream it from your device. That was history. That's the history of creation. Creation is the reason why we are able to connect with each other, why we're able to share these experiences. And that's another side note that I have, is that I was in the car today and I was thinking about this. This is a whole nother topic, but I promise you it's all going to tie into what I'm saying. But basically, this whole thing is about experiences. And in our 3D world, in this place that we live called Earth, in the 3D, experiences are directly related to how much currency you have, or frequency, whatever you want to call it, because money is just a form of frequency at the end of the day. When you raise your vibrations and you follow your promptings, there's no way that your guides are going to leave you without abundance. And whatever that may look like, it may look like an abundance of followers, it may look like an abundance of money, it may look like abundance of land, an abundance of knowledge. Whatever that abundance is, it can be translated into monetary value, which is the currency or the frequency of this 3D dimension. And with that currency, it can afford you an elevated sense of experiences. And I'm not saying if you're poor, if you're broke, which none of those exist, because those are just constructs that were created to keep people in a lower frequency. But let's say that, I'm not saying that those are not going to get you to enjoy experiences, because I've had some of the best experiences coming from a less advantaged background. However, once you increase your abundance, once you increase your currency, your frequency, you can heighten your experiences. You can choose which experiences you want to have. And that's what this is all about. It's choosing those experiences in order to help aid in your creation process and help aid you in your mission. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of the times as spiritual beings, we kind of run away from abundance because, I don't know, sometimes we're afraid of it because we didn't have it growing up. We're afraid of it because we don't know what it may do to us. But it's literally necessary for us to do the work that we need to do, that we're supposed to do, that we're meant to do. And the longer we run from it because we think it's evil, or because we've never seen anyone be successful, or we're afraid of success because we don't know what it'll do to our friends or our family, we have to work on that parts of ourselves, whether it be through hypnotherapy, whether it be with a Reiki practitioner, whether it be a past life regression reading, like whatever modality you need to do to help remove that blockage. That is probably where I will start, to help kind of, alleviate that feeling of frustration, like you have something within you, but you keep hitting this block of, oh, but I can't do it. And it's just so much deeper than that. Yes, you can, but you have to remove those blockages. And I am in this very process. I've probably done, I don't know, maybe eight or so past life readings. I go to spiritual advisors quite often. I've done, plant medicine. I've done hypnotherapy. I've done all of it. But, there was so much work that needed to be done, and there still is. But I will say, in terms of where I was a few years ago versus where I am now, I'm a completely different person in terms of the blockages and the weight and the trauma that I used to carry. I no longer carry those, but there is still residual trauma and weight there that I will continue to do the work for. But I think a lot of it has to do with the idea of what abundance truly means. Abundance is what is going to allow us to have this experience. And a lot of the times that potential, like I said, is due to the frustration from not using our potential is due to the lack of abundance that we want to achieve. We find ourselves in these cycles of wanting to do certain things, but not feeling as though we don't have the resources. But again, if we do the thing, the resources will come. If we do the thing and we do it unsure of what it will do or how it will play out, but we're doing it, the resources will come. But anyway, I'm going to end this here. I feel much lighter, feeling quite emotional because I needed to hear that message. Yeah. I hope this message resonated with someone out there, and if it did, please share with whoever you think might need to hear this message. I will continue to make these, and this is just the beginning of me kind of just expressing myself creatively any way that I feel prompted to. So if the next post is a video of me in my garden, don't be surprised. But I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope that you are following your promptings and taking moments to sit in silence and listen. Thank you.